Hey guys, Tush coming at you. It's Friday night, February the 15th, 7:45, and we got about 20 plus degrees in the Celsius in the garage tonight. Haven't been out for, or haven't at least made a video for a few days. I have been out a couple nights for a short period of time. I've had a pretty busy week at work, so I haven't had much time to spend out here. I did manage to break out the big shop vac and give this thing a good vacuuming, so it's looking a little bit better, a little cleaner anyway. So yeah, actually I spent a little bit of time out here, like I said, and ended up sort of giving up. I was trying to fit my rear fender, and I knew that this was going to be a bit of a challenge prior to me doing it. I'd sort of done some test fits before, and this car has a new rear clip on it, and the fenders that were on it before were pretty rough shape. At the rears, there'd been a lot of filler work done on the previous rear fender to rear apron fitment. I think there was almost 3/4 of an inch of Bondo in certain areas to get it to fit, so I knew that was going to be an issue, and it did turn into an issue when I did a test fit of the fender earlier in the week. Couldn't get it to fit very well. Ended up cracking the epoxy here on the thing, a bit of a stress crack in it. So I'm going to have some rework there. But essentially it doesn't fit very well at the back, and it doesn't really fit very well at the top. It leaves a gap here. It doesn't really fit flush here. And I got the reason why it needs to come up a little higher is I got the beading out to see where the beading needs to be as far as the fit of the fender is concerned, for it to sit flush against this fender. And the fender needs to ride a little higher for the beading to work properly, otherwise it's going to look funny. It's going to be, you know, down below the body line, and that's not the way it should be. So I'm a little bit concerned about the fit along the top here of this of the fender. So I've moved the fender up as high as I can, and unfortunately it's still not good enough. So plus the curvature, obviously I've got that stress fracture because I'm trying to bend the fender in, and it's actually out too far this way towards the front of the car. It's actually leading out too far this way. And the reason it's leading out too far this way is I'm trying to compensate for the back, where it's actually riding out over the end here. So, and this is where the filler work was done on the previous valence to bring out this rear section. So anyway, so I've got sort of a major issue to deal with. I haven't tried the other side fender yet. I'm going to pull the car out so I can get to the other side. I'm going to slap on the other fender and see how we're doing for fit on that side. Maybe it'll be a little bit better. I'm not holding my breath, but maybe once I put that fender on and get it all bolted up, I will take a video. Maybe it'll be a bit more explanatory if I can actually show you a video of what's actually happening with the fenders. But anyway, this may involve some major surgery on the fenders. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to fix this. I'm definitely not taking the rear valence back off. There's probably about 100 spot welds holding that in place. So, and you know, all along the top, all around the spare tire pan, all along the bottom. So, you know, according to the old measurements I took, it's in the exact spot that it needs to be. So I'm not sure quite what's happening with the whole fitment issue with the fenders. Like I said, they didn't fit very well before. So anyway, enough of me jabbering. It's been 4.5 minutes of me just talking. So I'm going to put the camera down and get to work and pull this car out and start working on the other side. I'm going to have to tap the holes out. So I've got my tool here to get those threads done on that side. And then we'll come back once I get the fender attached. Talk to you in a bit. Okay guys, driver's side fender's on, rear fender's on, and I'm happy with the fit. I remember there's going to be a bead going in this gap, so you won't see that. So I'm happy with the contour of this fender all the way along the top. It is a little high here, but again, there's a piece of beading that goes in there, so I'm not too concerned about it. I could actually add a little bit of filler here if I wanted to, but I think I'd be okay because the beading will cover that anyway. So here's the concern, is when I get back to Sorry for the shaky camera. So, I don't know if you can see that. Probably. So this is the problem. Tight at the top, wide at the bottom at the back. So I have a feeling that this valence was not aligned properly. So this is what I'm going to have to do. I mean, I've got spot welds all the way across the top here, all the way around this spare wheel opening. Plus it's also got a closing piece on the bottom. So I'd have to drill out all those spot welds. I'd be a little concerned about this as well. This is the tube that goes through and connects the rear of the car. This is a bumper bracket, so there's a bolt that goes through and it has to align with the frame. So it's quite a tricky piece of metal here that I'm dealing with. So, although, you know, I don't think I can fix that otherwise. I don't want to fill it. Like I said, in the old valence, there's a ton of filler back in this corner. I can push it, but it bows out the fender. I don't want to do that, so because that's going to end up bending the fender or stressing the fender. So it's pretty much like that on the other side as well. Although, like I said, I have a bit more of an issue at the top, but I could always probably knock that down with a hammer as well, carefully. So anyway, I'm going to sleep on it tonight. I think I'm going to have to take this valence off. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to undo again what I've done. Pretty ugly inside here. I don't know if you can see that. It's the original paint. Well, second paint, or I guess the original paint that the first owner did over top of the British Racing Green. So they called it, the guy was from Japan. I think he must have been a serviceman. This car was originally sent from the factory to Kobe, Japan. And apparently the original owner immediately painted this, they called it Okinawa orange. So yeah, pretty ugly. Anyway, so I'm going to sleep on it, and we'll come back to it tomorrow, and most likely be taking this valence off and redoing it. So stay tuned. I'll upload this. Talk to you later, guys. So here's a better illustration of my dilemma. So this is the driver's side. And I can pretty much make that work. It bows the front out a little bit, but it's got a rod there. This I can make work. On the other hand, this is a major problem. There's no way I can make that work. You see, I've got a hole in here already on the flange where there's been some work done, and it was pretty weak. I was pushing on it, but there's no way I can make that come in. So, and you can see it's actually out on the top here a little bit. So I don't know if this panel's on crooked. Anyway, it's tight with the flange on the bottom that was left all the way around. The door lid fits on properly, so I don't know. I've had the body on the frame, and the bolts fit through the frame properly, so it sits on the frame properly. So I just don't know if there's been a lot of work done to this fender. I know that this flange has had major work on it. There's been a piece welded in here, so maybe it's this whole fender. So I'm not sure what to do at this point. I'm thinking about even maybe doing some modifications to the rear of this fender to make that fit. That would prevent me from having to do any more work on the valence. But it's a tough call. I really don't want to cut anything if I don't have to. But yeah, I don't know what to do. Anyway, I guess I'll sleep on it. But like I said, that's pretty. I can get that to push in, and that looks not bad. So decisions. Anyway, we'll sleep on it. Good night, guys. So there's the rear driver's side with the bottom bolt put in. Two more bolts. There's one here and the middle and one at the top that are not in yet, but you can see I could probably make that fit. There is a little bit of stress on the panel, but not much. But again, this is another story. So we shall see. Hey guys, Saturday afternoon, Tush coming at you. Back out in the garage, and tried to go get my welding tank filled up today, and no go. It's a long weekend here, so the shop that I go to is actually closed today. They're normally open till noon, so I made the trip there, and unfortunately they had a big sign on the Doors saying they were closed for the long weekend, so unfortunately I have no welding gas, so I'm not going to be able to do work on this project at all this weekend, which is unfortunate, but anyway, it'll give me more time to think about what I'm going to do as far as this is concerned. So we'll come back to this later. I think what I'm going to do is probably work on the front apron. We'll get that maybe finally finished up. I'm thinking I'm going to bolt the front fenders on just to see how we're doing here. I'm going to clean out these captive nuts. We'll run a tap through those and get them cleaned out. And we'll mount the front fenders just to see how we're looking there. And then we'll push the body over and set the table up to get working on the front apron again. So that's it for now. It's just a quick update, and we will talk to you later.